Okay, well, to get into some lighter conversation, there were two things I noticed social media wise that I wanted to get your opinion on.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, couples post each other on Instagram, right?
Yes.
And something I've noticed is there's a whole like soft launch, hard launch thing. But something I kind of respect is I've actually seen couples where the guy is the one posting him and the girlfriend, where the girlfriend's Instagram is like completely just her
Yeah.
and her friends, and like he might be like a soft launch in a story here and there, but like you could not tell that she's dating
Dating him.
someone, whereas he's very like, this is her, this is this. And part of me is like, I love that. And 'cause I feel like it's always the opposite, like the girl's posting and the guy's like nowhere to be found with anything
Yeah.
of her on his Instagram.
I think that's really cute if a guy does that first. But I do think that I'm not saying that Instagram is more geared towards women, but I do know that like the in the past and present people that I've dated, they are like not big Instagram people, or if they have Instagram, it's for like their not I wouldn't say business, but like their entity.
Yeah, like their passion.
Yeah. I don't necessarily like I don't post that much on Instagram either, so I don't the whole Instagram thing, like hard launch, soft launch, I'm like, who gives a shit? I'm not like I love Instagram, but like I think it's changed for more influencer-esque type of dealio, and I'm just like, I've realized I'm never gonna be that. So in another life maybe I'll be an Instagram influencer, but I don't know. I think it's cute though when a guy does it. Like it just shows that they're like they care and like they want to show this girl off, and I don't know. I think that's a good thing to have.
Yeah, well, how do you feel about posting either like the guy you're talking to or your boyfriend, if you had one, like on your social media? Like, is there a certain point, or like have you done it in the past, or like
Oh God.
at what point now would you be like, okay, I think I'll throw you on there?
Yeah, I'll throw you a bone. To be honest, I haven't posted a picture with a guy on my Instagram since college.
Same.
Yeah, me and my college boyfriend, he would post pictures of me, I would post pictures of him, like everyone knew we were dating. Feel like that was before Instagram became like this big like social media platform for selling things and stuff. Now I think that to post someone on Instagram, I would have to like seriously call them my boyfriend, and two, I feel like I don't know if I would do like a hard launch or soft launch. Like I've posted like stories that maybe they appear in them casually.
I've seen some B-reels go
You've
out
seen-
from you.
Well, the thing with Be Real is that like it's whatever. It's with like 3 people that I'm
Exactly.
It's
yeah.
like it's like you and like a couple of my girlfriends, and like that's about it. So I don't feel like pressured to like reveal. And I think currently nowadays it's a little bit of a tougher situation, but I don't know. Like I think it's fine. I'd post my boyfriend if I felt the need to.
Yeah, I used to post my college boyfriend all the time as well, but now I'm like, Instagram's more just like for me, I feel like, whenever
Yeah.
I do want to post. But so part of me is like, I'm not posting a guy again until like Cardi B says there's like a ring on my finger. But
Literally engagement pictures.
but at the same time, I'm like, if I found someone that I like fell in love with and they were my boyfriend, I probably would post them. But
yeah, like if there was a cute picture or something like that, I would see that.
the other thing I saw was on TikTok, and it's like those interview people that like go around to bars and they're like, what do you think of this random topic? And they'll like interview people. But I found this one interesting, and especially wanted to get your perspective on it. It was people asking guys like how they felt about girls that had a high body count, and if they saw them as, you know, a slut, a whore, or whatever, and they were like, well, what's the number for you that would like make you think of them differently? Whereas with guys, all the girls' answers were like, well, it doesn't really matter. And they were like, here's a very specific number where I will now not see you as like girlfriend material. And I was like, this is so ridiculous.
It's a double standard. I think it's so annoying because in our society today, like, we have come really far from like sexualizing women and also like deeming them as, you know, a whore, slut based on their body count, when really it's like, it's none of your business how many people I've slept with, and it's none of your business like what I do on my free time. Like, why does it matter? I'll tell you 0. I'll lie. Like, it doesn't matter. But why do you?
I'm a virgin.
I'm a virgin, actually. We still have a long ways to go. I think we're going in a good direction, but I think that we still have a long ways to go as far as the double standard. Because personally, I don't like care how many people like a guy has slept with, because I feel I don't, to be fair, I don't want to sleep with a virgin. They don't know what they're doing. And like, I want to also, like, sex is supposed to be equal on both sides.
Right.
And I'm sorry, like, someone who's a virgin probably doesn't have any experience, and like, it's not going to be pleasurable for me. Yeah, I think we still have a long ways to go. I think one thing men need to realize is that, like, just because they have slept with a lot of people doesn't necessarily mean anything. And it shouldn't matter. Like, they're with you for a reason. You know, their past doesn't matter. Like, why are we going in the past too? Do you remember what that number was?
Yeah, some of the guys said like anything over like 8 or 10. And then there were some guys who were like, oh, like 15. And then there was like the one angelic hero who was like, the past is the past.
Yeah, I don't think it necessarily needs to be like talked about unless there are some like complications, or you're triggered by someone, like, oh, like, I've, you know, slept with 2 people and, you know, both of them like raped me, or, you know, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't think it's anyone's business but your own. But
it would be funny because these guys would say like the number 8 is too much, and then they'd be like, okay, well, what's your number? It'd be like 3 times that. And it's just like, how are you coming up with these analytics that don't make any sense whatsoever?
Yeah, I think that's a stupid ass question. That question needs to not exist anymore. Body count.
All right, game time.
And this is the segment we like to call Game Time.
So the first game we're gonna play is what used to be a very trending thing, the He's a 10 game.
Yeah. So
we're gonna just kind of talk about things that I guess are personal to each other or to us, and see what we think about it. Okay. So do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
You start, so I can kind of gauge what you're gonna say.
Okay, well, the first one's very personal to me. I don't know how you're gonna feel about it, but he's a 10, but he hates Taylor Swift.
Ooh. This is the only thing. I'm not a Swiftie.
I know you're not. That's why I wanted to ask.
I'm not a Swiftie. So does he hate her, or he just doesn't like her music? Like, does he hate?
He full on hates everything about her. Not just like, I don't want to listen to that song in the car.
Oh, I would say still a 10. I'm sorry. I personally don't like Taylor Swift. No offense to Taylor Swift. You do your thing, girl.
She doesn't care. She's got her money.
She's not going to listen to this. All right. I think we've talked about this one before, but he's a 4, but he has the most beautiful smile ever. Like, perfect teeth, perfect smile, perfect lips.
Oh.
But he's a 4. Maybe a little chubbier. Maybe yeah.
I feel like the mouth goes a long way.
Yeah.
So maybe like a 6, 6.5.
I have personal experience with that one.
Do you?
Yes.
So what would you rate though?
I would say a 6.5.
Yeah, I feel like the mouth goes a long way. Like,
The
especially if you're
teeth
a
are
good,
for me is like a big thing. If you have like a good smile and nice teeth, like that's it. That
No.
may be the one that wins me over.
I've had personal experience where I went on a date with a guy and he was great, and then he opened his mouth and there was like just gaps in like multiple areas, and
I'm sorry. Get
I
braces.
couldn't get over it. Like, if you have like one little crooked tooth, maybe like personality trait, but it's like, how can I look at anything? I can't look at your eyes. Like, I'm just looking at your mouth, and that, like, go to the dentist.
Get Invisalign. It's not that hard.
All right, he's a 10, but he can't handle his liquor when he drinks every time you go out, and ends up either
zero.
throwing up or like fighting hands with
I
people.
can answer that right now. That is the biggest turnoff I've actually, we've talked about this. I experienced this recently. Literally so unattractive. Like, stop being a girl. Literally, literally stop.
So a 0?
So like can I do negative numbers?
Mm-hmm.
That to me is like the most, like, that's like maybe a 1.
Yeah.
I'll give him a little bit of leeway. Maybe a 1.
I think people in general that can't drink in like a appropriate manner, or like they know they act like a completely different person once they like hit a certain number of drinks. It's like, how have you not realized that this is what your behavior is gonna end up being that night, and like, why are you not changing it?
I have lost a friend because of that. Not because of me, but like her behavior was not okay in my books, as far as like.
Did you tell her you had a problem with it?
I think it was a mutual understanding that I think our friendship has carried its course.
I'm like, why can't everyone just be fun and happy?
Well,
like...
that's the thing with alcohol. Everyone's different with it, so you just have to pick and choose your battles. But yeah, for me, it's like a 1. It's not cute in my book, especially if it's someone that you're talking to. It makes me like,
right.
Ew. He's a 7, but he smells really fucking bad all the time.
No, he's like a 2. I feel like I'm very attracted to guys that smell good.
Ooh,
or they
yeah.
like they put on cologne.
Oh, it elevates the whole thing.
Yeah, like even like when you get in their car, or like you get in their apartment, and like it almost smells like them, but like in a good way. That like it's like a sixth sense. Like, it carries over. So if they have a bad vibe to them, it's like, how you gonna be around them?
I agree. I think. I have a fear of smelling bad. So like, if they're like not worried about how they smell, it's like, why?
Yeah.
Don't you want to smell like normal?
Yeah, you know those people that have like their own scent.
Yeah,
Just
they're
like,
called pheromones.
oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
You know how like I've been around people who I'm like, oh, you just smell naturally really good, or like naturally it's just like a
Good.
like, it's not like they smell bad, but it's like a negative vibe, and then it's like I almost feel bad. It's like they're not doing anything, like they're showering, but it's like there's just something not quite clicking there.
Yeah. And like, if on the reverse side, like if they're like, I don't know, a 5, but they smell amazing, I'm like, I just want to climb on top of you. You smell so good.
Moral of the story is to smell good.
Smell nice, people.
Wear
Guys,
cologne.
if you're listening to this, make sure that you use that money for cologne.
Okay, next one. He's a 10, but he doesn't like any sports whatsoever.
0. Maybe a 2. I'll give him a couple points. 2. If you don't like sports, or the sports that you do like are like motocross,
Cricket.
cricket, badminton,
Yeah.
those are the sports that you like, I don't know. It's not going to work for me. Like, this is a story, but I did go on a date with a guy back in like March, I believe. And he was like super athletic guy. Like, we got along, whatever. And then we went on our 3rd date, and Portland Trailblazers were playing like on the TV. I'm like, oh, the Trailblazers are playing the Pelicans. And he was like, who's that? And I was like,
Oh my God.
Excuse me? And it wasn't just because he didn't know like the teams. Like he legit doesn't know any teams of basketball. And I'm a big basketball fan, so I'm like, oh, like the Portland Trailblazers like basketball? He's like, oh, I didn't know that. And I was like, do you watch sports? And he's like, no, I hate watching sports. I'm like, okay, so what do you watch? And he's like, oh, I watch anime. And I'm like,
Oh my
oh
God.
my God. Yeah, I was like, no hate on anime. There's no hate on anime. You
It's
can
so
watch
popular.
it. But like, it's very popular. Like a lot of people watch it. But I don't know. There's something about like a man not liking to watch sports that just really like confuses me. Like you can literally watch you can watch MMA fighting. I don't give a shit. But like pick something.
Yeah.
Pick something you're passionate about that has to do with sports, please.
I agree. There are like probably a one or a two, and just like you said, like being someone that likes sports, I feel like a lot of girls hate sports.
Yeah.
So the fact that like we both like it should just be like an added bonus
Yeah,
to a guy.
right?
So if I'm gonna go out there and find the one guy in the world that does not enjoy sports, then that's insane. Like I should find someone who very easily, whether it's football or basketball or soccer or something, like this shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, I don't care what sport it is. Just pick one. You can't hate all of them.
No.
And on top of that, my kids will be playing a sport competitively growing up. I don't give a fuck what it is. It will be something.
Yeah. It's
and
important.
that's thank you. Welcome to my TED Talk. He's 8, so everything checks out. You know, like go on your first date, second date, and third date. He's like, oh yeah, come over. You go over there. He has one pillow. He has a like banner of like I don't know, some like something.
A frat flag?
A frat flag. Oh my God, the frat flags. An American flag or something in his room, or like some sort of artwork that's like not really artwork. One pillow and the comforter, and that's it. In his bedroom. No candles. No other artwork within the walls of his house.
And you said he's an 8?
He's an 8. Like everything checks out.
Oh my God. Well, the first thing I'm thinking is this guy's probably not bringing people home if he's got one pillow.
It's a like, flat pillow too.
Where is she sleeping?
It's a flat pillow too.
I feel like maybe like a 4 or a 5, because I feel like that's somewhat fixable to be like, hey, like let's go buy a pillow and let's like maybe take this down and throw something else up. But that's more tangibly fixable rather than like a personality trait.
But is it a personality trait?
It could be.
What it means to me, it depends on how old you are too. I think at 27, if this were to happen to me, it would be more of a personality thing. It just means that you don't really care too much about like your looks or how you present yourself, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either, because I think you need to have some sort of level of good presentation, you know? When you're a certain age, like 20, late 20s, early 30s, like put some artwork on your fucking wall.
Or have a pillow.
Have 4 pillows, you know? Good amount. Maybe throw a throw pillow in there, you know? Spice it up. Don't act like you're still in college. That's the only thing, is that it kind of resembles like the college living. So then I like portray their personality as more mature or, you know, less self-aware of, you know, being a professional, whatever. So that's
So what would they be to you?
Oh, they would be like a 2 or a 3. I honestly would probably like fake an illness and leave. Like I don't care how attractive you are. Like that just screams immaturity to me.
He's a 10, but he asks you to either pay for your own Uber or to split the Uber with you when you're going to like the same location. And let's say it's not like it's like a $20 Uber maximum.
Do you see my face right now? Camera, do you see my face right now? No.
Right?
Fucking nut up and pay for my fucking Uber.
Especially if it's like come over from like the bar. I don't know, something like that.
I will say, now that I'm like, I always am evolving. I'm an evolving person.
That's healthy.
That's healthy, right? I think I'm growing. I went and visited a guy in San Francisco. What was it? In January of last year. He did not pay for my Uber to go from the airport. He doesn't have a car because SF.
Yeah.
He did not pay for my Uber to come to his apartment, nor did he pay for my Uber back to the airport.
Oh my God.
And now I'm thinking about it. They're $30 each. Now I'm thinking about it. I was like, what the fuck? If it's under, okay, this is the limit. If you're making money and you're doing well,
yes,
and you want to see me and we are together, pay for the fucking Uber. Just do it. You will get rewarded later.
Right.
You will get rewarded later. If a guy, so for me, that number is very low. That would be like,
you have personal trauma.
I don't have personal trauma per se. I'm just thinking about it now that we're talking about it. But I'm just thinking like, it's like more of a gentleman thing, like paying for dinner. When we're further along the dating course and we're like a year in and I'm like, oh, like, no, like I'll grab the Uber. Like we're in a group
Right.
and I'm like, oh no, I'll just grab it. That's fine. That's like your choice. But I feel like with the first early stages of dating, it's a trial run. Like my thing is if you aren't interested or you don't have the funds, make that very clear in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because that way the girl can gauge better on how to like go about the situation. Like, and even if you don't have the funds, like, then don't go. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It almost feels like it's like a courting thing.
Yeah,
like,
it's a little bit of a courting. You want to, like, as a woman, you want to feel like they are...
like you're special.
Yeah, you're special. They're treating you. I know for recent times, I've, when that person, like, has taken me out on dates and, like, courted me, I feel, like, more connected to them and feel more special and feel like this is going somewhere, not just like, oh, just come over. Like, no, let's go do something. Let's go enjoy the world around us. I don't know. He would be a 2 or a 3 in my book. I don't think that's, at least in the beginning stages, I don't think that should happen.
Okay, and that concludes the game. He's a 10, but he sucks.
And that concludes our... Yeah, that was fun. I like those. They're really funny. Okay, to be fair, I hope no men's get,
They're gonna hate half the things we just
said.
But
It's
that's fine because they're the problem.
I don't want any man to get offended from that, but it's just the truth.
No, they should take it as a learning opportunity.
Yeah. Moral of the story: don't get sloppy drunk. Make sure that your apartment or your living area is, mature.
Pay for Ubers.
Pay for Ubers, or, at least explain the situation. Most girls are understanding about that. I think nowadays it's more understanding.
Yeah.
What's the other takeaway from this?
Like sports.
Oh, like sports. Yes, please.
Pretend to like sports.
Or at least pretend that you know what you're talking about. Yeah. To be fair, there's a lot of times when I am in a room of guys and they're talking about some football player that I have no fucking clue who they are, but I'm like, yeah, they're doing really well. Just pretend.
Yeah. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. So those are our tips and tricks, everyone, if you want some help.
So the last segment with Drea is going to be just a list of some of our icks that we've come across, another popular topic among the TikTok community. So
should I start?
Yeah, you start.
So to preface this, a lot of my icks have to do with cars, and I don't know why.
We do have a lot of issues with vehicles.
If you drive any of these cars, I will not speak to you. Well, I won't speak to you. I won't be romantically interested.
Right.
A Prius.
What's wrong with the Prius?
Priuses just give me old man vibes.
They're so environmentally friendly.
Buy an Audi that is electric. I don't give a fuck. Honestly, buy any other car that's electric.
Okay. What else?
Kia Souls.
Okay. The most like basic cars.
Minivans.
Okay, well, yeah. That makes sense.
No. Get yourself a sedan. Get yourself just not a minivan.
Like a Lamborghini.
Okay, so those are like PT Cruiser is on that one too. PT Cruisers give me like, I don't know what type of vibe they give me, but you're balding.
So what are you gonna do if someone shows up to pick you up and they're like in a Kia Soul?
That's not me. I will.
But you won't know. Like, you're gonna be like, what kind of car do you drive before you?
Well,
go?
yeah. I want to know what I'm getting into.
What if they're like already on their way, and you're like, oh, like what kind of car?
I will literally turn off my phone.
The drama behind a car.
Cars are like really something for me. I think I've just had bad experiences with people in those types of cars. So that's a personal ick.
If you're trying to date Drea, good luck, because there's a handful of vehicles that
Drive a Honda Civic.
she's not getting.
Literally drive a Honda Civic.
Okay, yeah.
Drive a Jeep. Honestly, pick a Jeep. I like Jeeps.
Okay, now you like Jeeps. You used to not like Jeeps in the last episode.
Yes, I like Jeeps. I think they're cool.
You've evolved.
I've evolved. See, I'm an evolving person.
You are.
Okay, you go.
Something I've noticed, this is more like a dating app ick, but I don't like it when guys put either their Snapchat or their Instagram handle like in one of like the dating prompts as like a prompt, because I feel like that either makes them look like a fuck boy.
Or they just want followers.
Yeah, and it's like sometimes I like the Instagrams, I can just like go stalk them, but I feel like they're just trying to like get you to like, yeah, like I said, get followers or like slide in their DMs rather than like use the dating app for like its actual purpose.
Yeah.
So I don't like that.
I'm not gonna lie, in the past when I have used dating apps, I have put my Instagram handle.
I feel like girls do it differently than guys.
That's true.
Like ours is more purposeful.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if mine was purposeful or not. Going back to the sloppy drunk, men who are sloppy drunks, like stop.
Just stop.
Just stop. No, it's, or like men who drink at every single day of the week too. Yeah, if you drink every single night, I'm like, why? Also, it affects your body in a way. So I'm like, are you really taking care of your body? Because
right.
I don't think you are.
Well, like on the flip side of that, how would you feel if a guy was like, I don't drink at all? And not because he's like got an alcohol problem, just like he's like, I'm not into it. Like, I don't want to ever drink ever. Like, would that be like a turn off for you? Because I've asked some other people this question and they're all like, I can't date someone that like can't go have a drink or like have fun with me.
I think it depends. I think if they can have a good time with you being drunk or also, then, and they're not gonna like stop you from doing it. They're like, I just like don't like to do it because I don't like it how it makes me feel, but I'm like love going out and being with my friends and all that stuff. Then I'm like, okay, like that's respectable. You know, you're taking care of your body. If that's something that you want to do, I'm not gonna force you to drink. But I feel like if it's a more controlling thing where like you're not allowed to drink or you're not allowed to like go out with your friends and have fun because of the possible consequences of alcohol,
right,
then that's a problem for me. Because then your views on like a certain topic are impeding my views, and then that is where the relationship won't work.
Yeah, it's just like it's a way of controlling another person.
Yeah, and I don't think that that's fair at all.
This is an ick for me, but might be controversial, but guys that wear flip-flops or like sandals, unless you're like going to the beach or you're like doing, I don't know, I've seen guys like just like wear them out like to a dinner or like, and I'm like,
bro,
I feel like guys' feet are meant to be covered. Like, I mean,
cover them.
They're not like pretty like girls' feet, and it's like, I for one wear a lot of closed shoes, so I'm like, why do you think you have like?
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Personally, I'm not a feet gal, so I don't want to see your dogs out in the sun. Like, I don't need to see your toes. I do think that there is a time and place for flip-flops, and that is the beach.
Yeah.
And that is the only time where I think it's acceptable. Get some better shoes that maybe breathe better. Get some Nikes. I don't care. Cover those puppies up. It is a controversial topic because I know a lot of guys do.
Yeah.
I do have friends that do wear them, and I have called them out, and I'm like, gross.
Yeah. I don't mind if guys are wearing like slides as much.
No, I don't. Slides are different.
I prefer
that's more
like
casual.
I
That's
prefer
like a slipper.
like the sock with the slide on guys. I think that's better too. But yeah, slides are better. But if like an actual flip flop, I'm like, no.
Flip flops are for the girls. You heard it first. Wear slides. Slides are for the boys. Flip flops are for the girls. Yeah. That's just it.
I personally wear slides too, but that's different.
We're also boys, so it's fine.
Okay, let's do one more each.
Okay.
And then wrap it up,
okay,
ladies.
One more. Well, you already took mine.
I'm sorry.
Like cargo. Well, I was going to say cargo shorts.
Oh.
I don't like cargo shorts.
No, like the khaki looking.
Yeah. Let's get rid of those. Once and for all. If any Walmart, Target, big superstore is listening to this, get rid of the cargo shorts. We're done. We're done with those.
What kind of shorts do you want guys to be wearing? Because I feel like
that's a hard one.
It's like a very limited selection, whereas like we have so many options.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
That's a very hard one because I have friends who wear those like Bermuda jean. I've showed you pictures. Bermuda like jean cutoffs. And I'm like kind of grossed out by it too. And they have like ripped holes. I'm like, no. I think shorts, the 5-inch seams, like Lululemon shorts.
I was just
those
gonna
5-inch
say.
seam ones, or like the ones that are like a tad bit, I think they're like 7-inch seams. Those ones got a little bit of a thigh showing. Like, that's what shorts are for. I don't need them to be like past your fucking knee.
No.
I don't need them to be at knee level either. I think that's too much. You're giving me dad vibes.
I feel like they need the classic athletic type, or if a guy's just like coming over and he's wearing like basketball shorts.
Yeah.
But they're like, you said, like above.
Yeah, above the knee. If you're above the knee, guys, above the knee. Oh, it's not an ick, but I think this is a good plus. If you know how to dress as a man, that is very attractive for a lot of females.
Yes.
I know there's a lot of girls who don't care, but in my book, if you know how to dress and you're not just wearing, I don't know, t-shirts and like basketball shorts every single day, that is very attractive and like something that I personally look for.
Yeah. Like, I'm not a super style driven person. Like,
Me neither.
I love wearing leggings and a sports bra every day.
Right now.
But I've noticed like with guys, especially like on their dating profiles, like they have very specific styles, and if you either can't dress yourself or it's like a style I'm really not into, then I'm just like automatically not gonna look at your profile.
Yeah, I haven't obviously been on dating apps in a long time, but that was definitely something that I looked at, and like with the first dates too, like, are you dressing up? You know, not dressing up, like I don't expect you to be suit and tie, but like, are you looking good, like fashionable, you know, wearing something that is modern,
right?
Not offensive.
Not offensive.
I don't know.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last ick has to do with the way that guys text. I don't like it when guys like cannot like fully spell out a word, like when they use like it's different if you're saying like, no, it's not actually. Like if you're gonna type out the word you, like write YOU, like don't say you, like the letter U.
Yeah.
Or when they're just like very weird with their punctuation, and almost, I don't want to say like it just comes off like you're uneducated to me, and like I read it in like a different voice and a tone. So I don't think it's hard. Like I don't mean like need you to like use periods and apostrophes, but like just spell out your words. Does that make sense?
Well, I know what you mean, and I've had a couple situations in the past with that, and I like low-key can't read the text.
No, yeah, that's like a problem. I'm like, is this a slang word? Is this something like I shouldn't have to be like sitting there like urban dictionarying the word you just sent me? Like you just type it out. It makes me upset.
No, I agree. I think like, I mean, you can use some like slang words, but like make sure it's universal and like I'm gonna be able to understand it. I don't want to have to freaking go like Da Vinci Code on you and like try to figure out what this text is saying, you know?
Yeah, I just feel like, especially like maybe if you're dating someone for a long time and you understand how their language and how they talk, but if you're like just texting someone new and you're gonna whip out this weird grammar and punctuation, like it's just like a turn off, and I would prefer you to just use the English you were given to figure it out.
Find a dictionary, open it up, and find the word.
Yeah, because it's really not that hard. It's like texting, I get it's more of like a simpler shortcut, but there's some things that don't need to be shortened. It just looks aesthetically not pleasing when I look at it on my phone, and it does not make me want to respond.
To be honest, I've been using like the voice, not the voice memo, but like the voice note thing where it types out your text for you, and just use that if you don't want to text. Like if you don't want to.
I mean, I just prefer a voice text in general.
Voice memo, yeah. Me and Shayna are queens of voice memos.
Yeah, it's funny because they disappear. But did you know you can turn a voice text into like the voice memo in the app?
What?
Because you know how that one day we were like, oh, we could turn all of our voice texts into a podcast?
Yeah.
And I realized like if I send you a voice text through like the text, I can click it and save it as a voice memo, like into my phone.
Should we start doing that?
I just discovered that a few days ago and I meant to tell you. All right, well, if you make it through that whole episode and you're a guy, congratulations. I hope you learned something fun today. Thank you again, Drea, for coming on and doing 2 episodes. I'm sure you'll be back at some other point with whatever we can think of again. But yeah, is there anything you want to say to the podcast listeners?
No, just thank you for listening to me. And like, I don't know. I love hearing everyone's topics and opinions on the topics that we talk about. But yeah, I love being on here. It's been great. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, last time Drea was on here and I posted some of her clips, there were a lot of controversial men in the comments slamming us, so I'm kind of hoping that happens again. I know, it's kind of fun. I'm fun. Like, well, if you do this, you should look at all their profile pictures and just, I don't know. I get inspiration from this girl, Drew, on TikTok. You know who she is. But she, like, goes through all of her hatred comments and just, like, screenshots their profile picture. And they're all, like, low-key balding. So I'm like, yeah. That's kind of what I did. I was like, I don't feel bad. Like, this is just how women are today. Like, just either take it or leave it. Yeah. I feel like guys are just too hot-headed and really should be taking notes. And yeah, I mean, we're not saying anything that hasn't been said before. No. I think that everything that we've said that like on this podcast has really just affirmed, like, we're normal 20-year-old girls dating in the 21st century. Like, this is just what it is now. Yep. Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, thank you again, and I will see you guys next week.